Police officers who were involved in operations against a terrorist organization, and have since been arrested, have been put in the same prison building as members of the organization. 63 police officers who were arrested after several operations carried out since July 22, 2014, including Ömer Köse and Serdar Bayraktutan, the former heads of police counterterrorism branches who were credited with dealing harsh blows to the Revolutionary People's Liberation Party/Front, DHKP/C, terrorist organization, have been placed in an F-type ward, which is normally reserved for members of armed organizations, people convicted of drug offenses or organized crime, and those sentenced to aggravated life imprisonment, in Istanbul's Silivri prison. The police officers were arrested in what is seen as the government's revenge against police officers who oversaw graft investigations publicized on December 17 and 25, 2013 that incriminated cabinet ministers, and close associates and family members of then Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdoğan. Samanyolu Broadcasting Corporation CEO Hidayet Karaca is also with the police officers in pretrial detention, having been arrested in the aftermath of a police raid on the Zaman Daily and the STV headquarters in Istanbul on December 14, 2014. The report comes from Gültekin Avcı, a former prosecutor and current columnist for the Bugün Daily, who wrote in his column on Monday, titled "They're Trying to Get the Police Killed," that the individuals who killed prosecutor Mehmet Salim Kiraz have been put in the same ward as the police officers. The aim, according to Avcı, is to make sure the police are dead before a verdict to release them is issued by the courts. Kiraz was taken hostage in his office by two members of the DHKP/C in April. All three were killed in a rescue attempt by Turkish security forces. Kiraz had been leading an investigation into the death of Berkin Elvan, 15, last March, who died 9 months after falling into a coma after being hit by a police tear gas canister during the Gezi Park protests of 2013. Avcı also added that incarcerating the police together with individuals who they targeted in operations in the past and whose incarceration they are responsible for runs contrary to Article 24 of the Law on the Execution of Sentences and Security Measures. Hidayet Karaca and the police chiefs were transferred from No. 6L type maximum security prison cells to the newly built F-type cells in Silivri prison, unnecessarily and without proper explanation, Avcı wrote. Stating that as a prosecutor he had overseen many prisons, including ones that housed terrorists, Avcı wrote, "Those public officials who use the authority granted to them by the state and spend their lives fighting terrorist organizations cannot be placed in the same buildings as members of terrorist organizations." In April, public prosecutors refused to comply with a court order for the release of Karaca and the 63 police officers who were arrested pending trial in government-orchestrated operations targeting the police force starting on July 22, 2014. Although the Istanbul 32nd Court of First Instance ruled for the release of Karaca and the imprisoned police officers who have been kept under pre-trial detention for months despite a lack of evidence substantiating their incarceration, the court's ruling was not enforced by public prosecutors in a move that is hard to explain in a state of law. Avcı also claimed in his column that the families of the police officers were being intimidated by being placed in rooms with walls covered in graffiti supporting the DHKP/C during family visits.